important to value a child
Mm-hmm.
and recognise that they are actually a capable little human, and not just teach down to them.
Mm-hmm.
You learn with a child, and the parents, you really need to be mindful of values and beliefs and biases, and be aware of your own and theirs, and value that and recognise it and acknowledge it and learn off each other. Yeah, I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
can see how all of that fits with you, the Beck that I know. So the next question on my kind of list is, did you ever doubt your ability to, to get into this kind of work, or have that sort of self-doubt where you're like, I'm just not sure if this is for me?
I always, knew that my intentions were in the right place, and I love children, especially young children.
Yeah.
I think it's fitting into the dynamic of more the team or the environment. So, you always doubt yourself. You doubt your ability. And we do group times where you have to kind of keep the children interested, which is tricky to begin with, but if you're happy to make a fool of yourself, then and joke around and think on your feet, and really immerse yourself in what it is to be a child, it's fine.
And so would you say that it's kind of practice and years of experience that have led you to feel more comfortable across the board in whatever situation you're in?
Yep, I think it's, it's an art. You learn it, and I chose to study more because I wanted to know more. So you learn more about how children's brains work and development and theory and that kind of thing. So yeah, I feel like it is definitely something that and having children is probably the best education.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a nice way of looking at it.
Yeah.
And so tell me about your study kind of path. So you mentioned that you chose to study more. Where did you start?
Yeah, so I volunteered when my children were at preschool, and then I thought, this is what I want to do. So I did my certificate 3, just part-time. And then the pay's really bad, and also to get a job you need to have at least a diploma, like have consistent work, which is important when you're a single mum.
Yeah.
And so I did my diploma at night because I had young children, so that was something I chose to do. And then I procrastinate a bit because once I commit to something, I really like to try and do the best I can do. So I sat on that for a while, and then I decided, no, I want to do my degree so that I can, when my kids grow up and leave me, I can travel or, do casual work for better money and have a better understanding. And they need early childhood teachers, like so many in a service.
Yeah.
As part of the ratio. So I'm glad I did it. I did that online, fully online, which was fine. Like, I thought it was going to be really hard, but I actually really enjoyed it. Did it at night when the kids were asleep, on weekends, and here I am.
It's amazing commitment.
Yeah, I really, once I commit, but it takes me a while to kind of work through being able to do it and making sure that I have that balance. I've still got that balance with my kids and stuff. Yeah, I managed it. It was tricky, but I did it.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Any parent studying is amazing.
Yeah.
Remind myself of that.
Yeah.
So, is there anything different in your kind of day-to-day working life that you imagined would be different before you started working? So in your day-to-day sort of working life, before you started studying, is it now that you're doing it, is it what you imagined it would be? Or is it different in some
it's
ways?
what I imagined it to be to a certain extent. It's just as my knowledge, I've gained more knowledge. It's changed because I think a lot more about everything.
Yeah.
How, the whys, the whens,
Yeah.
And I feel like I can kind of mentor educators if they ask me. I never push myself because I don't care if some of the best educators cert 3s, So, but if someone comes to me for feedback, I feel like I'm in a place where I actually know what I'm talking about is right, rather than just thinking it's right. Yeah. So it's backed up, my confidence to just my confidence, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the combination of kind of the degree study with your experience that you've gained now has kind of put you in that place where you feel like you could be a mentor.
Yep. And I
comfortably.
just really enjoy my work. I feel like I've kind of got it down to
Yeah.
a bit of a fight. Yeah, it comes naturally now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you look at other people who you think are doing a good job, what do you see? What skills or attributes?
I think it's not necessarily being able to talk the talk, it's walking the walk, you know, like people who are really responsive to the child, listen, we have to do a lot of receptive listening, teamwork, open to feedback, you know, happy to try new things, doesn't matter if you make a mistake, you know, just dust it off and
so constantly kind of learning on the job, is like being receptive to that.
And I think, you know, like you said, they're just continually open to growth and development. That's a big thing because things change so much in the education, especially early childhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What would you say has changed, like, you know, from when you started to now?
There's a lot more accountability on educators, a lot more responsibility, a lot more documentation, a lot more documenting everything. Like nothing, it's hard to stay spontaneous because nothing's spontaneous anymore, you know, and for children that's really important, like that not everything's not structured and there's risk assessments about everything, you know. We can't go out on an excursion even out the front gate without having an excursion risk assessment.
Wow.
Yeah, so things have changed. I'm not sure it's necessarily for the good, but it's how it rolls. How it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So have you had to kind of build on those skills a bit over the years since you kind of graduated to build, if it's changed?
I think not necessarily. It's more just knowing, keeping up to date with regulations and legislations and code of conducts and ethics and so it's just staying up to date with relevant stuff.
And is that something that your workplace sort of helps you with?
To some degree.
Regulated as well?
It's regulated, so we have people who come in and assess the practice, like our setting, but also, you know, we have staff appraisals and we have obviously a management team, you know, the director and the educational leader, and they keep us on our toes.
Excellent. So what advice would you give to someone who's considering getting into early childhood education?
I think